Hey, this is the Spark of Madness. We've got an awesome special show this week. We've got the Grouch, and we're joined by
Grouch.
Colin Orr. He's back in studio, and he brought the Grouch with us. He's carved the winners' names, myself, Colin, and Ben. All three names are on here.
Ben, I'm going to adjust your microphone. Oh, there you go. Good. You did it.
So we've got the Grouch with us, which is our annual competition. That's for the Oscars, where we all pick our Oscars picks. But that's such a specific time, and we wanted to have a new game that would go over the course of the year, but also would bring in a lot more movies that we always talk about. And so this year we're going to do the first ever Spark of Madness movie draft. We've got Adam Schefter on hold. We've got lame jokes. I'll just run through the rules.
You have Marv Albert on the phone?
I'll just run through the rules really, really fast so we have the footage.
Yes! Yes!
All right, so the Spark of Madness movie draft.
The rules are pretty simple. There are 8 competitors. Like fantasy sports, each competitor drafts a team. Only this time, a team of movies. Each movie will earn points based on a variety of criteria over the course of the year. There are also a bunch of bonus points to be awarded on the last day of the season, Oscar Sunday, when the year's last awards are handed out. Each team has 7 of these movies. These are broken out into 6 genre categories, with 1 flex position. That is, a movie that could fall under any of the above genres. Whichever team has the most points at the end of the season wins. Without further ado, let's get to the teams. Team Ben.
So, Ben, you get to go first.
Amazing.
How about that? Ready? What do you think of your team, Ben?
Looks good.
Looks good.
His voice is not doing so well.
No, I'm excited about Godzilla because I'm looking forward to that movie.
I think we all are.
But Sam, I think it's a sleeper.
You think it's going to be the one?
You know, it might be.
Yeah.
I think it is a sleeper. They're only tracking it at $40 million opening, which I don't think
pretty
is gonna
low.
happen.
That's pretty low.
That's really low, man.
And so, Ben, you also have the Laundromat, which I think is seems random, but it's Meryl Streep in the streaming category, and
Oh, I didn't know anything about it.
that'll be that.
I just looked at my laundry pile. I was like,
I'll go with the Laundromat.
Team Colin.
Colin, what are your thoughts on your team?
In the end, I'm really, really happy about my team. Awesome movies that I'm excited to not only see, but also being able to score points. I mean, last year we were talking about It, and that ended up being my favorite film of that year.
Hey.
And so I am so psyched about the second one. Hopefully they can do it.
That's good.
So everybody's aware. What I'm going to do at the end of the year is ask everyone for your top 3 movies of the year. And if one of these is in your top 3, then that movie, even if it's not on your team, it's someone else's team, that movie gets bonus points. So if it could very well be in like a bunch of our favorite movies of the year, and it could end up Dumbo too.
I have a lot of history with Dumbo, so that'll be fun. But it's still another one of those Disney turning animation into live action.
A little scared of that.
Yeah, but I think it'll bring it in. I think it'll bring it in.
It has Michael Keaton, and he has a pretty good track record recently, I think.
Yeah, I think he
In picking projects.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that he can do such a good elephant impression.
Well, his memory's
Tim Burton
really
and Danny
good.
DeVito have a pretty good track record together, too.
Yeah, that's right.
It looks like Batman.
And Michael Keaton.
Batman
All
and Danny
three.
DeVito. Again,
Also true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
some of the shots I saw on the recent trailer really looks like a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, you
The-
do
the
have
newest
kind of the
trailer.
Batman voice right now too. Yeah.
Where are the other drugs going?
That's better
Swear to
than
me.
Bale's Batman voice.
I think it's a good movie, Batman. Maybe Dumbo can fly. That's
Unfortunately,
Dumbo
no
fly?
Batman in 2019.
Thank God.
Do you know what would be
How about
great
that?
if there's a shot of Dumbo
flying in, and he exits the tent, and the moon is bright. And the sheep are dumb.
If that doesn't
They have a
happen,
shot
I'm
of
going to
Michael
dock
Keaton,
the
he's
movie
just like-
points.
Was a wild card, and I didn't know I was going to get it, but I'm super psyched that I got it. Is the Tolkien film. I'm kind of excited to see what they do with that. I watched a trailer for it, and it looks good to me. I'm really excited to see what that is. The two that I didn't really know of until this list is Knives Out and The Kitchen, and I'm really excited about both of them. Except Knives Out is, I mean, it has a lot of big names in it, and so that's my risk one. I'm excited for it, but it really is giving me
wild card.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's giving me nothing. It just says no plot.
Well, it's a mystery.
Yeah,
so
it's just a
it's
murder mystery, no plot, and I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Team Wesley.
Wesley, you have the team everyone's most afraid of.
You have the high ground.
Well, I got a target on my back, so that's a concern. Even
It's just a kick
I
me
would say-
sign. Jeez.
honestly, when I got the document back from you, I was kind of surprised with which picks came down because it was mostly moneymakers. Not a lot of awards. Maybe the two. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood probably going to get some nominations, and The Irishman definitely going to get a couple. I think that's the X factor here for me is The Irishman, because out of the streaming category, that's probably the only one that's going to get any nominations, because that's the only one that hasn't announced theatrical run so far. I'm willing to bet maybe down the line, once we get closer to Oscar time, maybe they'll do a do-over run for something, but I have no idea which one yet.
The perception for the Oscars, which is kind of the big bonus category, by the way. Like, if you get a nomination, that's a big bonus. And if it's in for Best Picture, even higher. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Irishman fit those categories. But
Yeah, those are both.
I also think for
Contenders.
the nominations, though, like Star Wars could get a bunch. Lion King for effects, Aladdin too.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Like, some of these other categories.
Yeah, we're gonna be hearing these.
Yeah, get like sound or
I
whatever.
would say you can almost lock in now that Star Wars gets a score nomination because it's the last one that John Williams is doing.
Right.
He's retiring.
So
Oh,
I think
no.
that's why I'm terrified of yours, because you have like movies that are simultaneously blockbusters, but will also get a lot of those kind of technical and then music categories for the Oscars too.
Yeah. So many. I see visual effects.
I'm screwed.
sound.
I
acting.
think Aladdin's a wild card too because that could flop hard, but it could be massive.
I still think a ton of people are going to go to it because they want to see Will Smith and
Yeah, they want to see if it's bad.
yeah.
Yeah, they want to.
If that last trailer's any indication, it's going to do okay.
Yeah.
So which of the other teams are you afraid of? Everyone's afraid of yours, but which one are you most looking out for?
I'll be honest. The one that stood out to me, the one that I noticed first was Collins. I thought that was a really interesting team. It's a pretty dark, it's dark movies. So that was what gave me a little bit more confidence. Is other than It, which I think is a sure thing. There's a chance that
lock.
just because the darks are horror-y, that they won't do as well. But Chauncey's is the one that I'm scared of.
Team Chauncey.
How to Train Your Dragon 3 was already a pretty big success.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
It's huge.
Avengers Endgame is going to make $2 billion. I don't know what Good Boys is. I assume it's about dogs.
That's Seth. That one I think will do written well.
This time we will finally know who is the good boy.
It's Seth. It's like a Seth Rogen movie that written produced,
I am so high.
but it's for little kids. It's a bunch of little kids. So it's
gotcha.
like
Isn't it?
super
It's like an
bad
R-rated comedy, though, right?
It's super bad for middle schoolers.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is normally I would say this will flop, but after coming off of Won't You Be My Neighbor, I think that it might have a little bit of a bump.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody kind of not liking that it wasn't a part of the
Oh, yeah.
Oscars.
yeah.
And
Just
Tom
that
Hanks.
alone?
And it's Tom Hanks. So
Tom Hanks.
Lego Movie 2 flopped, so
One of our
that brings
guys.
him down pretty hard. So
Yeah, that was an interesting pick.
and then the last one is Doctor Sleep, which has, I think, one of the best up-and-coming directors, Andy McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, looking at that, like, yeah, you two, Chauncey and Wesley, like, those
Pretty
are
solid.
those are solid. Yeah.
Team Aaron.
Let's do Aaron.
All right.
Go
all
ahead,
right.
Aaron.
I'll make this easy for you, Matt. I am terrified. A lot of these, like, not half. A few of these I picked at random because they sounded good. You know how I vote.
Yes.
You're a big George Michael fan. I know.
But things like Pet Cemetery, I'm thinking that might do well. It's a Stephen King, and it's one of his most beloved
I mean,
books.
the trailer looks good, or what shots I keep on seeing from that.
Yeah.
Man.
It's got a pretty good cast too to bring
Yeah,
it
yeah,
home.
yeah.
So
Good
like-
up-and-coming directors.
And then you got John Wick 3. I'm looking forward to that. I think we all are.
and it's also in the I think John Wick is now in the Fast and Furious trajectory of box office too. So like it'll probably do even better than the last one. So you're terrified, but
I see it
you
now.
still have some good ones.
I made some picks that I will stand by, such as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Heck yeah, baby.
You had it as your number one.
That's right.
Have you seen the new pictures?
No.
The new pictures of Sonic? Okay.
Oh man, no.
Have you? Okay. I don't know if I've given my comparison, but he looks like what you see on like off-brand foreign cereal boxes, like their
awesome.
mascots.
Get your blueberries.
Sonic says, put it up to the camera, Ben.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh no, that's
Sonic,
Oh, I
he can
can't
really
focus that.
move.
It's-
Sonic,
We'll
he's
get
got
Matt-
an attitude.
We'll get Matt to
Sonic,
superimpose it.
He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
No.
That was really impressive.
I'm also another important pick for me is Joker because I'm interested in it. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but it's technically superhero. I will be temporarily lifting the embargo on that one.
I mean, I've just seen
Yeah.
shots of it,
Right.
and it looks
I think it
good.
looks really good.
I'm just curious because
Technically not a superhero.
that's why I'm playing around with my morals on this one because A, it looks like it could possibly be good. It doesn't look like your generic DC movie. And I like Joaquin Phoenix. Actually, I don't like Joaquin Phoenix, but he's been surprising me so much lately.
Yeah.
As far as 1917, Devil All the Time, Last Christmas, I know nothing about them.
I actually really wanted 1917. I think that's a sleeper for depending on how it goes. World War One, movie. If it's
1917, it's World War One. Crazy.
If it's done right, it could be awesome. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know what if it's a war movie or a drama or what.
It kind of looks like Oscar. Like,
Yeah.
I could see.
Sam Mendes.
All I'm gonna say now,
And
is
again, sound and editing, like it could capture
Yeah.
a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
you guys are gonna feel really stupid when Sonic the Hedgehog cleans up.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Best picture.
I'm jealous of that one, man. That's great.
Who are you
am I-
most afraid of?
Who am I most afraid of? I know exactly who I'm most afraid of. Do you see how badly the deck is stacked for Rachel right now?
Team Rachel.
Like Chauncey has Avengers Endgame, but she's got 3 Marvel movies in there.
That
Captain
Brightburn.
Marvel's already like 600 million right there.
Yeah,
that's bada boom.
So those numbers are still like that's even,
And she's
that's
got
just
Frozen,
so far. It's
Frozen
366.
2. Come on. That was like a phenomenon. I've still never seen it.
Me neither.
Downton
I
Abbey.
think the shocker is going to be that Downton Abbey.
That was on like a best pictures list I saw.
Team Matt.
So my strategy going in was obviously I had similarly ranked high Star Wars. Like for some of the ones where I ended up with like Hobbs and Shaw, Super Intelligence, like those were one, and even The Report. Those were kind of like my middle of the road picks. Obviously, I would have wanted Star Wars or Avengers or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think was my first pick. But I really went for the Oscar bait stuff for everything else. So
Good strat.
to land with Us, Toy Story 4, The Report, The King, which I doubt will get anything, and then Ford v Ferrari as my flex to pick something that has any buzz around it at all, has no blockbuster intentions. Although maybe I guess technically it could. That was my strategy, was to really go for the Oscars bait.
You're ahead because you had a strategy.
So I'm most excited for Us, actually, because I think that's like kind of one of the more unique ones on here.
The trailer freaks me out.
Yeah, and it could go a whole bunch of different directions too.
Yeah.
And as avoid like a sophomore slump for Jordan Peele too. I'm really curious to see what he goes with after Get Out. And it has an awesome cast, so that's the one I'm most excited for. I think The Report could end up being like my sleeper, massive, like
I could see that.
like
What
win
is
Best
that?
Picture. It's about like 9/11 conspiracy. It has
Adam Driver.
and it's like true story about the CIA
Oh, yeah,
during
yeah.
9/11 and stuff, and it's coming out at the end of the
Does he have a mind link with Osama bin Laden, or?
I see you.
I see you. I feel you.
Join
Can you
me.
put on a robe or something?
So I feel pretty good overall, especially if Hobbs and Shaw can keep up I really need that to do about as well as Fast and Furious 7 from a box office standpoint if I want to have a chance. But
I think it'll do better.
I hope so. Good.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it'll do better. It's got Idris Elba, which is a huge draw
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And The Rock is more powerful now than he was when that came out.
Yeah.
Team Madara.
Our last competitor is our super fan who's been following us from the very beginning. She even knitted I'll have to show this on the video. She even knitted a Spark of Madness hat. She's coming to us all the way from Latvia. She writes her own movie reviews, is really into it. We're joined by Madara. But Madara, what do you think of your team?
I feel pretty okay with my team. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to participate. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I'm from Narnia, so basically because we had to schedule this when it's comfortable for you and for me. And I'm actually really happy with the movies that I got because I think I have a really odd selection of movies. When I saw that I have the new Man in Black, I almost cried because I love that franchise and I grew up watching the movies. I didn't even try getting Star Wars, even though I would have loved to get Star Wars.
Yeah, you
but
put
I'm
Men
really
in
happy with.
You put Men in Black pretty high. I was pretty surprised when it came up that you ended up with it, but it sounds like it's at least personally relevant.
Hey, well, it's Hemsworth, so
So dreamy.
So, enough said.
thought that someone would pick it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really, really happy that I got Rocketman 2. So
Yeah.
there's a couple ones that I'm really happy, but I don't know how well some of them will do. I think Stubber will be a really, really... We'll see. I have no idea.
Is that how it's pronounced? Stubber?
I
I have no idea.
just have no idea what that movie is about. I just saw that because when I was making my list, I tried to look them up and figure out what's going on. And I was quite stressed out. I think my picks would have been a little bit better if I had a glass of wine. But
Yeah, I'm hoping some of these movies actually come out and they're real. So, okay, so
yeah, because that would suck because you get basically 0 for a movie you picked and that comes out maybe in 3 years. So that would...
That'll hurt the score.
yeah, that'll hurt the outcome. It'll at the
but
very
yeah.
least it'll be a good reason to go see movies, right? That's the I guess the
Probably.
silver lining.
There's some teams that has like 2 superhero movies and it's really hard to beat it. But then again, there's Tarantino and Star Wars and Jumanji on one team and Irishman 2 and Aladdin. I'm basically screwed anyway.
I'm definitely afraid of Wesley's team too.
Now
Yeah,
there's more than
he's
one of me.
really,
Looking
like,
down, yeah.
He's intimidating. When
Yeah.
it comes to his team, he's intimidating.
Well, thank you so much, Madara, for coming on and being a part of this. I know it's very
No
long
problem.
distance, but we're happy to round out the 8th member of our competition, and I hope you lose.
Well, Same to you. Same to you.
Those are all of our teams. We're going to keep an eye on this periodically as over the course of the year. We'll check in maybe, when one of the movies comes out, even if we're doing it on the show or not, we'll kind of bring up how it did on in its opening weekend.
You'll keep us posted.
Yeah. And we'll just check in to see who's winning as we get towards the end of the year. Maybe we'll do something mid-season to really shake it up. But
Shaking it up.
we'll just end on that. Next week, we're going to do Us, so stay tuned for that.
Nice.